All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the 2025 UEFA Under-21 Championship final post-match press conference, joined by Lee Carsley, and player of the match presented by Carlsberg, James McAtee. We'll do the first 4 questions for James, and then we'll move on to Lee. So who would like to start? Yeah, Nick, and then Nathan. Yeah.
Thank you. James, you just won a major European honour with your country. How just put it into words for leading the team out and lifting the trophy.
I don't think it's quite settled in yet, but I'm sure when I get back to the hotel, I think it'll settle in, and when I get home. So, yeah, right now I'm excited, but I don't think it's quite settled in yet.
And just what was it like? Obviously, you had such a great start, played so well. They pegged you back. You have to go again. They hit the bar. Just what's going through your mind in kind of extra time, just to sort of dip into the resources.
Yeah, I think that's just the final for you. Things like that are going to happen. I think we started the game so well. We could have maybe gone 3 or 4 up, but we started so well, and that's just the final. That's going to happen. But the lads that came on have obviously, John has scored a header, so big congrats to him. And then Jarrell and all the back forwards, to be honest, hung out, and it was amazing.
James, congratulations. When you got to put your hands on the trophy and you're walking over to the lads, just that is what it was all about when you first came out here. What was that moment like?
To be honest with you, I'm a bit nervous holding the trophy, but no, I enjoyed it, and seeing all the lads celebrate was a special moment, and it's something that I'm going to remember forever.
Hi James, I know you were off at this point, but when Lee did his speech, half-time of extra time, and all the family and friends behind you started cheering, can you talk about what that felt like? Did it uplift you? What did it mean to you?
I was actually struggling to get over there because I was cramping up so bad, but I could see the lads were focused, and obviously the family cheering them on is going to mean the world to them. So, and it worked. So I bet it was a special feeling. But I was out of the game by then, and I was totally goose. So I had nothing left in me.
All right, we'll do one last one for James. Yeah.
Hi James, I think Thomas Tuchel visited you in the dressing room after the game today, and maybe did a bit of a speech. What was his message to the squad?
He never spoke before the game, but after the game, we seen him, and he was very giddy. He came in and gave everyone a big hug. So it was good to see him, and hopefully he was impressed with the lads.
All right. Well, thank you, James.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
All right. We will now move on to questions for Lee. Ed, you want to give us a start?
Congrats, Lee.
Thank you.
I know you said you wanted some time to reflect, but you also said as soon as games are finished, you're already thinking of the next thing. So are you going to give us the line? Do you want the hat-trick?
Well, funnily enough, yesterday I've got the new squad of players that are potentially available for the next campaign. So I'm not thinking about moving on too quickly. I think it's really important that it was a great target to go for. Dave Sexton's the two in 82 and 84, and the most important thing is that the Under-21s keep winning and keep producing players for the senior team, along with the 17s and the 19s. So it's a brilliant thing to go for. We spoke a lot about leaving the shirt in a position where potentially you could go for 3. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's a great target to go for. I don't think it's been done yet, so it may be. And looking at the squad as well, we've got a strong squad, but I think we have to give this squad so much credit. And I'm so proud of the players, the way they've conducted themselves for the 29 days that we've been together. So focused, so together. You always worry at the start on the dynamics of the group, but the longer we've been in the tournament, the more together they've became. And I'm sure they'll now have brilliant memories of this tournament in a few months' time. The main thing is now is that they keep working hard at their clubs, keep playing for their clubs, and push for a senior position.
We grew up in an era where England teams, especially against Germany, have sort of had glorious failures, haven't they? What's different about these players? I know they've conquered Spain and these other top nations, but there is still that thing, England, Germany, we've seen things in the past. What is it, and what is it in you that's different from all the past?
We spoke about the difference between having hope coming into a tournament and having belief, and this group definitely thought they believed they could win this tournament, which is a big thing, especially when things aren't going your way. You know, it's we started off very clunky, the tournament. We stayed in there. They stuck together. They got better as the tournament went on, and they've got what they deserve. So, but over the 4 years, you know, we've beaten almost everyone in terms of France, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Germany. So, you know, we should take heed from that. Like I said, that's a massive positive. The fact that we can not only compete at this level, but we can win consistently, but in a good style. I don't think we played great at times tonight, but it was a final. Germany should deserve a lot of credit. You know, 8 games unbeaten, 7 games unbeaten, whatever it is. Have already beat us in this tournament, and you know, but going into the game, you could feel that the players thought it was their time, and yeah, I've got so much belief in them. Like I say, I just want them to just keep improving in their careers and keep doing well at their clubs, because that'll be the key to them getting in the senior team.
Just last one from me. Is this one almost feeling slightly better, given the chance that you had less time to work with the group over the campaign?
No, definitely not. It's definitely equal. The last group I had, you know, they were an outstanding group, and these are different. You know, the lazy thing as coaches would be to try and just reproduce what we've done last time, but we're doing it totally different. We thought outside the box with our training, with our tactics, with the way that we wanted to play with our squad selection. We knew we had the Club World Cup in the background as well, so being able to adapt quickly to pivot if we lost players, and make sure that we pick the right squad that were able to not only play a lot of the minutes with a less recovery time, but play to a good style.
Ali, congratulations.
Thank you.
Before the tournament, we spoke about you having a picture on the wall of the World Cup for the players, and this is the last Under-21 game. 18, 19 of these players will have. National team manager watching on. How many do you? Well, I mean, so all those players. How did you think they did in front of Tuchel to give? I
thought we. I mean, obviously Thomas has watched all of the games, not just obviously he's only been here for the final because of the Club World Cup. But you know, really appreciate the going out of his way to travel from America through the night to get to the game along with Anthony. It's much appreciated, because the pathway at St George's and the FA is so important from the 15s right the way through, and the fact that they can see the senior team manager taking an interest is definitely given them a lot of food for thought. I think we've shown from 82 and 84 and 2023 the correlation between winning something and then going on to get senior appearances. So that's got to be the target. That's got to be their goal.
And James said he was giddy in the dressing room after. I know you haven't probably had a long to think about it. But what did he say? What was your kind of snap reaction with Thomas?
No, he was just delighted for everyone. Massive hugs when everyone comes through the door. It was totally, absolutely so enthusiastic, as was Anthony, and I'm sure they're both jet lagged as well. So, but no, the fact that they're here, the support we had prior to the tournament and during the tournament as well is much appreciated. I think, you know, one of our biggest strengths at St George's is that the pathway is so clear, and you know, there's people are always in St George's, and you know, it's great for the players.
Highly well done. James speaking about sort of dipping into his reserves, you know, on the pitch, but you know, what about yourself? I mean, we could hear a little bit what you were saying to the players in that break at half time and extra time. I mean, does that kind of come organically, or is that something you really have to sort of think about at the time as well?
No, I think there's definitely a bit of feel during the game that you feel that you're on your back foot, or the players are maybe going a little bit too deep or conceding too much territory. And sometimes you get a different sense when you're watching the game. And I felt that we were on top second in extra time, and I felt that, you know, you just want to give them that belief that go and attack them, go and try and score, don't try and hold on, go for it. And if we get counter-attacked and lose the game, that's fine, because we have to have players that are willing to risk losing by going for it, and I thought they did that brilliantly. And obviously the subs coming on. You know, if you'd have said to me before the game that we'd have finished with them players in them positions, you know, I'd have been surprised. But they'd done so well, just got on with it, stuck to the task that we put them on for, and you know, they deserve all of the credit.
Just a few words on Jonathan Rowe as well. You know, he's come off the back of, you know, he's gone a long way from Norwich to Marseille. Maybe not started as many games as he'd like to this season. But you know, I mean, what an impact.
I mean, the point we make to all of the players is that regardless if they're playing as many minutes as they like or they're starting games, we're watching them all of the time. You know, I'm keeping in touch with the players, mainly when they're not playing, just to keep them, you know, motivate them, keep them going, because, you know, to move abroad takes a different kind of character, and then different language, different food, different style of play, plus their age. So, we take a lot of these things into account, and, Jonathan's done so well when he has got opportunity at Marseille, and he fully deserves being in the squad, and he'd have probably thought at some point that he was out of the selection, but he's more than deserved to be part of it, and he started a few games, come on a sub and made a real impact, and his enthusiasm around the hotel and training has been infectious.
Lee, do you think this now has sort of vindicated the 2014 DNA reset? Because I guess one championship title is a title, but repeating it is the point, right?
Yeah, and I think with the DNA, the DNA is a brilliant document, but you have to live it. You have to believe in it. You have to make sure that we're putting the right players in the right camps from under 15s right the way through to the senior team, and it's a great document that we often refer to, and it's shown that we are capable of winning at this level in terms of 17s, 19s, and 21s, and what we can't forget is that we're here to support the senior team. That's our main goal, is to push players through to the seniors and hopefully win a World Cup or European Championships.
Would you say there's now a culture of winning throughout the age groups?
I think there is, yeah. I think there's I mean, you've seen the level of players that we were part of their development. The clubs and the EPP, I've said in the past, do such a great job. Technically now our players are at a very high level. Physically they're very good, and we should take a lot of credit from that. I think sometimes we're quite quick to put ourselves down, but there's no there's no mistake that a lot of these foreign clubs now are trying to sign our younger players because they can see the level of player that we're producing, and we should be proud of that.
Was there anything in this group that surprised you over the tournament? No, I thought the togetherness that they shown, took a bit of time to get going because it's a new group of players. So they're getting to know the dynamics, the pecking order, so to speak, and where they fit in. And they've been so engaged to all of the sessions that we've tried to do. The effort's been outstanding in the heat. We've made a point of training at the hottest part of the days, and usually sometimes it's a little bit spiky when the lads are a bit tired, but they've been so committed to everything that we've done, so yeah, they should take a lot of credit. And just on the knocks, Alex had a knock. Do you know what it is? And did any other players have knocks?
Yeah, just an issue with his thigh, just a collision. So the right thing to do was to bring him off. Everyone else is in a good place apart from cramps, but they'll get a much. We fly back tonight now. They'll get a much earned rest tomorrow, and I'm sure they'll be on holiday in the next couple of days, and they fully deserve it. And I spoke to them before the game about this is just literally a moment in time, and it can be so important for us because this group will never get a chance to play for the under-21s again. So I'm sure they'll look back on this time now with fond memories. And
last one, would you describe playing CJ as a 9 as your greatest tactical masterstroke?
He was just a bit deeper than a 9, but now I won't say it was a masterclass. But CJ, to go through what he's been through on camp in terms of his situation at Burnley and then signing for Marseille is something that he should take a lot of credit for. It's been I would imagine a very stressful period of time. We've tried to support him as much as we can and give him that space and make sure that we're there for him when we need it. And it's great that he's gone tonight. It's just a shame that we couldn't have got Tommy, Teddy and Ronnie on. They're the only ones that haven't played any minutes, but they've been so important to what we've done. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yeah.
Hi Lee, firstly, massive congratulations. You kept the tournament top goal scorer Voltamada quiet all game. He had exactly no shots on goal. How proud of you of your defensive line for that sort of achievement? Yeah,
I think the two centre-backs and Alex and Elliot should take a lot of credit from that. We tried to almost throw a net round him when the ball was near him because we knew how dangerous he was. We probably spoke about him for maybe 5 minutes in total because I always try and think about our threats. You make the players aware of the opposition, but if we do it right and we attack in the right areas, we're going to cause them a lot of problems. And I thought it was a brilliant game for obviously Channel 4 viewers the fact that they've seen a 3-2 England win is testament to the players. They'll have seen the level of players as well on both teams, and hopefully they're excited by the next generation of England players.
And one slight tactical question, if you don't mind me asking. You took you took off Jay with about 28 minutes to go, and you seemed to go back to a system that you played in the first 2.5 games.
Yeah.
You then brought on Jonathan to play the number 9 to extra time. I was just interested to get your thought process in why you didn't do a straight swap with Jonathan and Jay.
Well, I think I always try and keep as many attack-minded players on the pitch because I wanted to win, I wanted to score, and I always think that the longer you can keep a Harvey and a James on, the more chance you're either going to create a goal or score a goal. But they seem to both cramp up at the same time, so it was a case of making a double substitution. But in my mind, the substitutions are all about attacking. I don't want this generation of England players to see a game out. I want us to try and score again. I want us to try and win the game by scoring goals rather than taking them chances of going to penalties or or leaving anything to chance. So and they definitely took that on board. Every time we tried to attack, we tried to score.
And what are your plans now? Nice needed holiday?
Yeah, I think well, I'll definitely take a few days off and then be back in St George's next week. Not really got any holidays planned at the moment, but I don't think it'll be too long before I start looking at the next group that we've got and planning for that. It's I spoke about it yesterday. I don't generally move on this quick, but my mind is already on maybe doing it for the third time, but I think in terms of the next, I think I've definitely got to acknowledge the amount of support that we've had from St George's and the FA in general in terms of what we've had out here, all the resource that we've had. It's definitely much appreciated, and it's something that we don't take for granted.
All right, we'll do one last one from Slovak media.
Congratulations, coach, for Slovakia. It was really, really a huge thing, this tournament. So it was a long month with really fantastic finish for you. Yeah. So how did you see all the tournament in Slovakia? What you had here from our country? So
we've been our base has been in Bratislava. We've been so well looked after at the hotel. The training ground has been outstanding. The local community, we got involved in the first day that we were there. So there's 180 kids there that were on our pitch playing football with the players. Obviously, the Premier League is very popular over here as well. So a lot of the young children knew a lot of our players. So, but the welcome we've had, the players have been able to go out every afternoon and have 2 or 3 hours out having coffees and enjoying the city. So. We've got a lot to be thankful for to the city, especially the Under-19s as well. 5 years ago, won the Euros here, so a lot of the players have got good memories of that.
So a new favourite country for you?
Definitely, yeah, along with Georgia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Congrats, coach.
Thank you. Nice one, guys. Thanks for coming out here. Your support is much appreciated.